let me play devil's advocate for a second, because I have done UVB treatments before many times. And, as a skeptic, you could say, wait a second, you're only pulling so much blood. You're not pulling all of the blood in and out. So you're only exposing a certain amount of cc's, depending on what you do, autologous blood, major, minor, right? You can expose 50 cc's, a few hundred cc's, but not all of the blood ever is going to be exposed. So how are you getting a systemic reaction if only a small portion, let's say, of the blood is actually exposed to UV light and has that reactive, effect within it?
That's a very good question, Casper. And based off of the studies that we've done, I did notice that a lot of the manufacturers of the UVBI devices are only pulling 60 cc's of blood. They're pretty standard. What if the patient weighs 50 pounds? What if the patient weighs 200 pounds? It's still 60 cc's of blood. From the scientific studies that we've done, your body weight is the amount of blood that you're carrying. It determines that from your body weight, not the size or whatever. But if you're a 300-pound person, we pull 1.5 cc's of blood per pound of body weight. But we have a maximum amount. 250 cc's is the maximum amount because of the Herxheimer. So we don't want to harm the person, and over 250 cc's could become a little detrimental excretion through the liver and kidney. So those are protocols for that. We found that that's the most effective. It's 1/5, really. If you say 1.5 cc's of blood per pound of body weight, it's 1/5 of the blood that's coming out. And you're going back to your question, it's a chain reaction. When the irradiated blood gets into the bloodstream, every blood cell that it hits, it activates. And that's how the autoimmune system gets kicked in. It realizes, hey, we've got something here that we haven't had before. Oxygen. Irradiated blood pretty much is oxygen. And that's very effective. There's a lot of procedures that are out there that are very effective, and I'm not down talking. The ozone therapy, as a matter of fact, is very good, but it's a different approach. You're injecting O3 into you, and that's going to go through, and that part is, if you could think about a train, that train on the track is the O3, and as it goes along the track, it's knocking everything off the track, and that's good. But the UVI works differently. It's a chain reaction. It hits all of your blood, and it activates your whole body. So once you're finished, we suggest that the patient sits there for 5 to 10 minutes and let the blood flow start taking process. We also recommend that the patient, once they leave, that if they have the energy, some of them feel a little tired, because I know I slept for 18 hours after my first procedure. It was really working on me. Some patients feel like they have more energy and they're going to run out and run around the ball field. We suggest that if you can, to get out under the sunlight. And it doesn't have to be sunny. It could be a cloudy day. You're still going to get the ultraviolet in through your skin, and it's going to assist the UVI to start flushing out. And so those are very interesting facts that we've realized and scientifically proven.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Even the going outside part. Listen, everyone knows that being outside now, we have such a focus on vitamin D and other things, but sunlight is so essential. And of course, it contains that UV light. We unfortunately have demonized UV light and like to slather on chemicals. Again, going away from nature to slather on chemicals to stop the, what is normally a very positive thing to get those that UV light from the sun to come in and cause vitamin D to cause these other basic oxidative repairing functions in the body. So it's really interesting that that's the case.
Yeah, and I have a theory, man, right or wrong, I'll tell you my theory. I think that within the past 2 centuries that our atmosphere is changing. And by us not getting what we were supposed to from the inception, that, by us shooting satellites into space and rockets and opening holes in the atmosphere, that has changed the ultraviolet penetration to the earth. And by doing that, that's where a lot of these newly form diseases are coming from. Because before, the UV light was penetrating to the point where it was very effective. It was killing these bacterial, we can't see them, microbial impurities that get into our body. And a lot of these new diseases are coming from somewhere. I believe that might be the cause of it. So by us doing the irradiation, it's providing your body what it's missed from day one because of the atmosphere. It's not any of our faults. It's just the evolution. And I believe, I truly believe that this is a good life-saving procedure that's giving you back what you hadn't had, whether you eat healthy or not, whether you smoke or not. This is something I think that your body's needing because it's been lacking because of our atmospheric penetration of the UV lights. Personally, that's just
it's a really interesting thought process there and philosophy on everything, because of course we're going through a lot of changes. The modernization of where we are is taking us away from nature, and nature then also adjusts a little bit, and how we react to it maybe is not as natural, and therefore we have more diseases, and we're in an environment maybe isn't the most ideal for the human body.